In a world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence, there is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax, prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right, hello. Welcome to Curious Times. It's Saturday night, and it's June 18th. Oh my God, June is going to be gone. Then that'll be it. Half of the year will be over. You know what comes after that. Anyway, welcome. Kimber's here and ready to roll. Tomorrow I have an open day. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'll sleep. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a non-recorded. I don't know what we'll do. We'll just do something, or we'll do nothing. Diana Monroe is here Monday. Lisa Nolan Shalosky is here on Tuesday. Wednesday, Kathleen Moore. Thursday, Jen Young and Amy Kavanaugh. Stop, drop, and think. Friday will be Dorothy Holder in Energy Therapies. And a week from tonight, hopefully, Aliyah Dawn will be here. Aliyah Dawn, what's that flower you got on? Okay. And so good news today, in a way, except not really. Yes and no. I noticed that. Let me find it. There it is. I noticed that Canada legalized doctor-assisted suicide, or as they politely call it, physician-assisted dying. But then I have, and that's cool. But the problem I have with it is you have to be in an advanced state of irreversible decline with enduring and intolerable suffering. And so that becomes a subjective blah, 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 blah. I don't have a problem. They want you to have two people there, when you sign it as witnesses, independent witnesses, and all this kind of stuff. I got no problem with that. Somebody said here that they had they wanted to have a more liberal. They wanted it to be less restrictive, like have broader eligibility criteria. That would have included degenerative diseases, and the problem that the opposers had to that was that they insisted that it included suffering Canadians who are not close to death. So they're okay if you suffer for 25 years until you get close to death, whatever that is. And so that kind of, to me, it's, so this Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould, she opposed it. She argued that it would mean that patients with any serious medical condition, whether it be a soldier with PTSD, a young person with a spinal cord injury, or a survivor whose memory is haunted with memories of sexual abuse, could be eligible for a physician-assisted death. And what's your problem with that? Nobody's going to take you at gunpoint and make you do it. You know what I mean? Why don't you leave it for the person to decide? Who else is going to decide how bad someone's suffering? Oh, no, you're not suffering quite enough. Or yes, or we agree you're suffering terribly, but you're 25 years from death, so we're going to force you to suffer terribly for the next 25. So anyway, it's a step closer. It's a step closer. And really, it's there because the Supreme Court kiboshed a ban on doctor-assisted suicide. So anyway, I support, and I've always have supported, and I would like to see almost no restriction. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with a 2-week cooling off period or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But for anybody to talk about, like there is emotional suffering, psychological suffering that, people seem to want to, people have no problem. Oh, you're paraplegic and you blah, 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 and you can't breathe. Oh, yeah. But, nobody, I don't know. I don't want anyone deciding what's suffering for me, That's kind of, well, I'm going to get Kimber's ideas on that. A nice, pleasant discussion about doctor-assisted suicide here at Curious Times. And for all you spiritually minded people, I think if someone wants to die, let them. Let them. What's it to do with any? Yes, up to even if they're, whatever. Just let them. Make them have a 14-day waiting period or something so that there's a cooling off period or something. Let them. Why are we forcing people? I talked about this before. I go we're all heroes if we go put a dog down. Oh, the poor thing was suffering. Or you shoot a horse right at the racetrack because it got a broken leg. You know what I mean? And somehow we know that a horse with a broken leg is suffering beyond any humane standard, and we must immediately, not even wait until we get the horse to the barn. We got to do it here and now because we're humane. We're humane. But you person over there, you only have PTSD, or you were only raped 100 times as a child or tormented and haunted by that every day of your life. You aren't suffering enough for me to allow you to go to the doctor to get the right to die with some dignity. Better than the guy that had to fling himself over the balcony at Amy's apartment complex. Not only was that not a very dignified way for him to have to go, but what about all the people around? You know what I mean? How about my neighbors? Maybe my neighbors would rather that if I could go and get the doctor's assisted done than, go hang myself out from the roof or something out here that they have to, be traumatized by, hey? So anyway, blah, blah, blah. Let's go get Kimber. Kimber is a clairvoyant, psychic medium, a healer. She can read your aura, and she can read your animal's aura. She's also an empath, and she reads cards, energy, stones, bones. Them bones gonna walk around. And she can connect you with crossed over people, and all that kind of spirit guides, animal guides, you name it. She can dial them up for you. And if we don't have a large queue, then I'm happy to let her go on and on. It's the reading that goes on and on, my friend. It's the reading that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on again. Okay, let's go get Kimber. Hey, Kimber, how you doing?
Hi, good, how are you?
Not bad, and you can find Kimber on Facebook at facebook.com/Kimber-Lee Psychic Medium 1, and that's the number 1, not the word. Hello, how you doing? What's going on? What's new?
Hey, good. Oh, I'm good. I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you. Very fine.
Good.
What do you think about did you have a better topic? See, now I've just found a new strategy for my guests. I'm going to pick the most uncomfortable topics, the most downer, bummer, crap topics that there could be, and then say, well, if you don't have a topic tonight, then I know what we can talk about. And so anyway, what are your thoughts, Kimber?
Well, I think that's a good topic, and since it came up, we definitely should talk about it. And my thoughts are as yours. I do believe, it should be a choice. We have free will, and that's something that is very special about us is the free will, and we should be able to do as we wish and as we feel and as we need. And we know when our fight is over, when our journey is to end, and I think that we have several chances throughout our life. And when that final time comes, I do believe that we know if we're ready, and it should be something that, especially in many situations, as you had said too, it can be really hard to go on, hard to continue to live, and with some counsel, guidance, a lot of thought. I do like the 14-day period, the waiting period, just some kind of time to think about it. But I do believe in your heart, and I had a near-death experience, and I know that I did have a choice, and I made that choice to stay. And I think that too, it is very important to me to be able to have that. And so I would be for it. I would be definitely.
I was just thinking, I might be tempted to, sell my condo, cash everything, sell my vehicle, sell everything, liquidate everything. And then, just go spend the money wherever, everywhere fun. You know what I mean? Go do whatever. Go spend it. Spend it. And then when the money's all gone, go check into the doctor's office and go, okay, you know what? Because then at least you can go out, you can plan, you can do proper financial planning then. You know what I mean? And, Now, I'll bet you any money that if a person could do that somewhere along the way, in this last, how these rock stars go on their final tour or whatever that is. So let's consider this your final tour, hey? Now you're going to get out to go meet people you never met, or do whatever, go have a nice enjoyable meals out that you would never think to waste the money on, while you're eating your ramen noodles at home instead to stretch your dollar so that you can keep a roof over your head. You know what I mean? Then somewhere along the line, something's gonna happen to that person that's gonna make them want to keep living. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody might actually go do something that actually they find out, maybe I do want to keep living, And so I can't see anything wrong with such a proposal, So I'll wait and see what they do with this law, but right now I don't qualify, so I guess I'm staying around for a while.
Yeah, and you are. You've got a long time.
Oh, shut the hell up. I did not ask you that. I did not want, a long time can be 6 months, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I'll let you take it as you wish.
Yes, and you interpret long in your own way. I even don't have a problem with let the doctor hook you up to the machine and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? If it's a little thing that they stick it in your arm, or now you got to push a button to deliver the lethal dose of whatever it is. And then leave you. You have to push your own damn button. I don't have a problem with that either. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I don't have a problem with that.
No.
Either way, it's fine with me. You know what I mean? But if you make the person themselves, assuming that they're mobile and that they can, you know what I mean? Then that's the last stop. There's no changing. Then they can go and then they, you know what I mean? And then they'll go, you know what? Unhook this shit. I'm going home. And so I don't know, you know what I mean? But it always amazed me how we could consider ourselves to be compassionate human beings because we would take cats and dogs to the vet to be put down because they got a lump somewhere or because, you know, they whimpered a little bit, you know, or whatever, they're not doing well, you know? And we're supposedly to be all, you know, how unselfish it is of us to do that, you know, and let the poor animal end the poor animal suffering, right?
Yeah.
Why do we want people to linger around in suffering? Why?
Exactly. I know. I think a lot of judgment comes in, and a lot of the wrong thoughts about it, because, as you said too, a lot of times it can be extreme suffering, and the quality of life is gone. And you know, just as they have the no resuscitation, and if you're in like a comatose state or just can't, you know, no longer, like after a stroke, in really bad shape, and they choose to die, well, they let them do that. And I've seen that actually personally, and it was really hard to see that and have that person, you know, basically starve and die, and just, you know, it took days, but that was their choice, and it was the right choice in the situation, but it was an extremely hard thing. But I do believe that, you know, there was no quality of life. It would have been, you know, just a, you know, a horrible thing, and that was a thing in the will that was already stated. And, you know, but yeah, it can be really hard and difficult, but I do believe everyone that is in the right state of mind, of course, you know, and can make that choice should be able to. You know, and just as you said, even for animals, you know, I've had so many throughout my life and love them dearly and have had to make that choice, you know, and it was so hard and so difficult, but the right thing to do in the times that it happened. But as you said, why should it be any different for people?
Well, in a way, it suggests to me that, you know, for this, and usually it's, and I'm not going to bring politics, but usually it is a more conservative, right-wing person who is opposed to this. And, you know, my thing is that in a way, I think it speaks to a little bit of that, without saying it out loud, it's saying people are more important than animals. That's the only explanation I can come up with for them to be okay to shoot a horse because it has a broken leg, or take a cat or a dog in, or never mind that, they're euthanizing the even healthy animals because there's too many of them. Isn't that what Hitler did? Euthanize, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying, like, but so they're really, but oh no, because you know this whole thing in Canada was started long time ago with a lady called Sue Rodriguez, and she fought bitterly for years to the Supreme Court for the right to die, and she finally won. And you know, but why do we want to make her family goes broke with legal fees, you know what I mean, for her to just to be able to end her suffering. And so again, you know, it seems to me to be a little bit like saying, you know, well, animals is different than humans, and really it's not. A human is you know, but we all bleed when we're cut, and we all cry when we're sad or hurt, you know what I mean? And so I don't get it. You know, I think that's to say people are better than animals. We don't think. Again, it's also applying religious stuff to it.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was just going to say too, is that, you know, that in general, everyone thinks we're different or better, and we're not. We're all the same. We're all related. We're all one. You know, we all have the souls. We're all equal. No one above, no one below. And, you know, to me, that's how I feel. And I think that we should all be treated the same, and as we would want to be treated, and respectful and good to each other. And, so many people have different views, as you said, maybe political or just cultural or how they were brought up or just, religious, so many different views.
And that's why I like cornering people. A lot of times people have, they think they have an opinion. Mm-hmm. Really what they're doing is that they're repeating, they're parroting something that was implanted in them, programmed into them. And when you corner them and ask them some of these questions, so it's, why is it okay to end an animal suffering? And I actually love leading them into it first. I go, so there's this dog that's, blah, 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 and what do you think about, is it okay that the owner can take it to a vet and have it put out of its suffering? And then most people go, yeah, absolutely. So, well, what about a human being then? Why wouldn't that? And then they're like, well, it's all how you ask the question, I think, sometimes. It make people stop and rethink what they thought they thought. Rethink what they thought they thought, And then, let them bring their arguments. Oh, it's a sin and God will blah and blah, 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 And then I'm happy to have those debates with people, but, because I feel like that people die when they're going to die anyway. Now, and I include suicide in that. So I never have ascribed to this idea that it's a sin and you can't take your own life. And, look at somebody that skydives. You know what I'm saying? You're jumping out of a perfectly good plane. For the thrill of a free falling thing, when there could be easily some idiot didn't pack your junk right, they didn't pack your chute properly. Now you're going to die, or they're engaging in other very risky, thrill-seeking. Look at Evel Knievel and all of these other thrill-seeking things, right? In a way, that's kind of like roulette anyway. It's playing roulette with your life. Those guys that walked on the tight with the high wires and all of that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? They're engaging in very highly risky. And so I've never really bought into the idea that, it's a religious thing at all. Let's just remember that it's man that created religion, not anything else. Exactly. God did not create. Yeah, the Creator, God, whatever you want to call it, did not create religion. And all of the dogma that goes with it didn't even, sorry to say, but in my opinion, did not write the Bible.
Yes, exactly. That was man, and then I believe more spiritual than religious. And, everyone has their different views, but I totally agree with that too. That was all, a lot of just, in my opinion,
poppycock.
Man-made.
All right,
man-made and made up. Yes, exactly. There you go, poppycock. Yeah. Perfect.
I had to figure a way to say cock somewhere along the line. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and you know me. I'm all for that.
Poppycock there, And so I say mind your own business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And back to just to complete that thought though is like I feel like that everybody comes with their soul path and blah blah. This includes the way you're going to die. And yes, I understand that and I agree, I believe that there's X number of exit points, maybe 5 exit points or whatever. I don't know who came up with some exact number, you know what I mean? But let's say you have more than one exit point, and maybe it's your higher self making that choice at that point in time. And your higher self knows whether you've accomplished that which you were mainly coming to do. And we can accomplish more than our main objective or goals, you know what I mean? But so along the ways our higher self, I think, can make these decisions about whether we've accomplished what we came to do or not. And sometimes through the suicide, it's not about, like I've said before, like everything that happens to me isn't necessarily about me or my lesson. I could just be assisting some other soul buddy, soul friend of mine, and they said before, oh, hey, I'm going to want to, in 2018, I'm going to need somebody to slap me in the face. Are you willing? And I went, absolutely, I'm willing, And so, in fact, if you don't pick me, I'll slap you right here. But anyway, and so I think that, including those suicides, because look, there's things that happen as a result of a suicide as well that do result in the growth of some other person, or you know what I mean, or it might save someone else's life, or it might, you know what I mean, like, and so there's some purpose behind everything. I think all the big stuff that happens, there's some purpose behind it, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. In fact, that's a lesson learned that you helped me through too. Or as you know, so yeah, that's something that we all learn, and that can be a hard thing. But I love you for that too. But,
stop.
I know. I'm sorry. But
so anyway, I go Canada, and anyone else that has these kinds of, but stop with the micromanaging over deciding who qualify, Now, they did, of special interest, of course, they had to be smart enough to say that to qualify, you have to be a Canadian citizen. You have to be eligible for government-funded health care, which is a requirement limiting assisted suicides to Canadians and permanent residents, which would prevent suicide tourism. In other words, Canada has, legalized suicide, let's go there and off ourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so we don't want to be like the destination the vacation destination. What are you doing on your vacation? I'm going to go get myself killed in Canada, you know what I mean? And it's going to be so much fun. I'll make sure to get lots of pictures and send them home, So those are, and be 18, you know what I mean, be 18, and mentally competent, I don't know. You have to have a serious and incurable disease, illness, or disability, and be in an advanced state of irreversible decline. I think in its simplest terms, in law, oftentimes in law, you're supposed to go with the most basic definition or meaning of a word, eh? So irreversible decline, in my opinion, we're all in an irreversible decline.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. Like, so the day we're born is the day we start to die.
Yep.
And so, Death Trip. Heath, I know they could make a movie out of it. It'd be like Fantasy Island, except it'd be. Wouldn't it? There you go, Fantasy Island for, there you go. So it'd be like all very luxurious and lays and white guys in white suits instead, right? And then you can have the fancy drinks. Yeah, no pain.
Yeah, no pain.
We got some of the wittiest people here at this show, you know what I mean? And so, and they give you like the little umbrella drink or something when you get off the plane and blah, blah, blah. And, maybe you can smoke the biggest, fattest joint you ever saw in your life. Maybe it's your last wish or something like that. And then you can go. At the end of the episode, everybody lines up. They all sit in desks or something like this, They get them all hooked up and they get the little button and they all go click, and away they go. And incurable, hence mental, physical, could die. Yeah, you supposedly that's my problem, because I believe that that suffering of an emotional nature that's ongoing and has been for years in somebody's life is not to be not to be dismissed as not being suffering for that person, and usually that's what leads people to do the bad kind of suicides, like blowing half your face. I went to school with a kid, and a little bit later, around 18 or something, he tried to kill himself, and the problem was he survived. And he tried to shoot himself with a shotgun, blew half his face off, but survived.
Yeah.
Like, who wants that? You know what I mean? And so now the government has to take care of the guy, you know what I mean? And that's a big expense and blah, blah, blah. But all of that aside, you know what I mean? Like, that's a very, somebody that's, suffered emotionally for a long time, generally, you know what I mean? I'm sure people that have done my girlfriend, left me and that's it, I'm going to end it, and it's like which is another reason why, like, guns are too, I really think that they're, it's too easy to go, like, in the heat of that moment and just go poof, you know what I mean? And there's no 14-day cooling off period there.
No.
So I just don't I guess that you have to have, and I'm not just talking, you're sad for a couple weeks, or you're sad for a month, or even a year because you lost somebody very close to you, or whatever. I'm talking about, struggling with an emotional pain for years, and I speak to that. I know what that's like. It's why I would never take that away from someone else if they decided that they didn't want that anymore, and why people would be more sympathetic to the person who, is slowly dying from some degenerative, Lou Gehrig's or some other, one of these diseases where you're slowly drowning in your own lung fluid or something, you know what I mean? People shouldn't be judging that. It's not for them to judge.
No, and sometimes it can be not just physical but mental too, and be a lot of what isn't shown. Someone can be, a comedian can be very happy, positive in one way, and then hold all the pain and the hurt inside, and that, that's something that I've learned and seen, and that is really hard, because what they show and then what little they let on, but no matter what you do and how hard you try, it's their choice and their decision, and that's something that, as you said too, I do believe that sometimes they sign up for certain things in our life, and it's to help others and to grow and to change and to be here for.
Right, but people who make these wacky, extreme right-wing laws, they're not of sound mind. How could you call that sound mind? So you know what I mean? Like, so don't tell me who's of sound mind. And so again, I think it's worth. And what gets me is that if you believe all the conspiracy theorists, right? And the Georgia Guidestones and this notion that Illuminati or the shadow government or the Kabbalah or whatever you want to call it wants to, kill off, 75% of, they want to cull the herd of humans on Earth and get rid of 75% or something like that, or even more. why wouldn't they all be encouraging people to go to doctor-assisted suicide? You know what I mean? So that's one reason where I kind of get all, if they're the ones controlling all the rules and all the laws and everything like that, why hasn't all these countries that they're controlling just had those become their law? And why aren't they intentionally trying to drive people crazy so that they, or even giving incentives, Okay, your each, you know what? Anybody that signs up today, it's 2 for Tuesday, for Tuesday, and so anybody that comes and signs up today, there will be a small financial gift of $50,000 to each family of a person who comes, today through our program. And so to me, those, I have a hard time believing that this agenda to kill 75% of the population of Earth is there when they have easy ways to do it, and yet it's those guys, usually the right-wing people, that are the ones fighting against these kinds of laws. So, that's incongruent to me. You know what I mean? It doesn't quite, it doesn't quite make sense to me. So I'm not saying that it's impossible that there's this plan to destroy most human beings on Earth, but I think left alone, we're doing a fine enough job of ourselves. You know what I mean? And seriously.
And, I know.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys, if anybody wants to call in and get a comprehensive bone reading, or how about an aura reading, or if you have an animal, a pet that you want to get the aura read, somebody just binged their cell. Is that the wireless caller? Who's the wireless caller? Push 1 right now if you want a reading. I think they do. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And I won't know who that is, but I knew they were the first one here. So I figured they must be lining up for a reading. And so anybody else, especially if you haven't had a reading from Kimber, she can check out your animals' auras, or give you a message from your animal guides or angels, guides, spirit guides. She can give you a message from the baker down the street. Or she can pull out her bones and chuck them around and see where they land and give you a reading, or stones, or bones and stones, or cards, and everything. Can you read palms? Hey, you guys, doesn't everybody have the stupid M in their hand? You know what I mean? I keep seeing these dumb posts and saying, oh, if you have an M, I go, everybody has a freaking M in their hand, right? Doesn't everybody have that?
I think so, but I have seen a lot of that.
You're kidding me. I thought everybody had it. Yeah. You don't have the M in your hand?
I do.
Yeah, I thought everybody had this silly ass thing, unless you're an alien. You have it, hey Kimber?
Yes, yep, and I have seen so much about it lately, though.
Who else does and doesn't? Heath, I have it. Oh, Heath, it means we know what you've been doing with your hands. Anyhow. You know what M stands for. Just saying. Okay.
That's kind of meditation there is. That's my substitute.
Okay, I know too much about you that I didn't need to know. Okay, I could have guessed it though, because you are the original dirty girl, and
that's me.
So does that also mean, Heath, that you're blind in fact, or? Are you also blind? We can take anything and turn it into such a nasty, bad thing over here, you know, a man-made myth. It was a woman-made myth, wasn't it? Wasn't it all the mothers out there saying, because, you know, the men, they would never discourage you from doing it, even the religious men. Yeah, it was the nuns.
The nuns.
No,
yeah.
That's where that came from.
Yeah, that's good.
Because the nuns would rather that you were rubbing them, not yourself, you know what I mean? And so anyway.
Naughty nuns.
Okay, I think that nuns get more action than any, you know. But anyway, I don't know that. I can't say for sure. Getting more action than me, though, that's for sure. Okay, let's, before this thing degenerates any further, we only have one person. You guys, queue up. Get in the line. Get in the line.
Yeah.
And we're going to go get wireless caller. Hello, wireless caller.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. Who is it?
It's Dion.
Oh, hey, Dion. Sorry about your dog.
I know. Thank you.
So sorry.
Thank you.
That's a bummer.
I'm sitting here with my girlfriend, Selena.
Hi,
we actually
Selena.
decided that she said hi. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Selena. Hi, Dion.
Hi, Kimber.
Hey. So how
We
are
wanted
you?
to talk to you about, like, the animal auras.
Sure. Sure. Do you have a particular question or a particular animal in mind, or do you want me to go with what I get?
Well, I just had a Yorkie pass away, and her name was Lala.
Oh, so sorry. Sorry to hear that.
We miss her.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I have a Yorkie myself, and they are just the sweetest, most lovable. So sweet. Lala. Oh. Okay, let's see. She very beautiful, wonderful, very loving heart.
Hey, Dion, I'm going to mute you while she does the reading because I'm getting this every now and then, like you're standing in the middle of the highway or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of are, but okay, that's good.
Oh, you kind of are? Oh, see,
yeah.
I can name that sound, and there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna, or you mute on. Can you mute your own phone and then?
We'll mute you.
If you okay, and then if you feel you need to unmute yourself to say something, then go for it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, Kimber, go ahead.
Okay. She does come around you. She comes often. She was very, very close to you. Oh, very, very sweet, loving, very beautiful girl. She comes up on your bed. She visits at night, sometimes during the day, but she does come at night. She knows that you... What was that?
I said, oh, wow, because she passed away on my bed. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because she comes on your bed. She comes there often. That's a familiar place. I do believe she's saying she slept with you often. And, yeah, passed on your bed. She comes to see you. You know when she's around. You can feel her. Very protective. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, yes, I can feel her. Thank you.
Yes, you do. You feel her. You feel that warmth in your heart, too, and that love, and you feel her around you even physically. So come and cuddle with you and give you kisses. She was very, very affectionate, so loving, you gave her so much love. Just is showing me just so much love, so much. She's so grateful. You gave her a wonderful home and a very beautiful life. She is good with where she's at, and you will see her again. Animals, they do come for you. In fact, even when it's your time, you're very special ones, and she is very, very special for you. You were meant to be together. She says you were meant to be together. You have her heart. Oh, yeah, you have her heart. You'll always have her heart. She says she's showing me how much love. You very, very affectionate, and how loving and caring, and that meant so much and still does. She'll always come to see you if you want her to. Just ask. Just ask. She comes often, but she also wants you to know that if you want her to, be around, especially at night. I think you guys had a lot of personal time. I just feel that she still comes for that and enjoys that. A lot of personal time together, like watching Netflix, watching movies, and I can see you with popcorn and see her in your lap, and you guys just very affectionate, loving, wonderful relationship. Yeah, very fun. Very protective, but just very fun. Had very fun life. You gave her a good life, and that it was her time, and she's okay with that, and she wants you to be okay with that too. She knows that you're having kind of a hard time, and I know it does seem fairly recent, but that there's nothing you can do. She's giving me nothing you can do, not you could do. I'm sorry, nothing that you could do. I don't know if you feel that there was something that you could have done or something that would have changed it, but there wasn't. It's we do have our time, and animals do as well. And she just wants you to know that you did everything that you could for her. You always have, and that there was nothing. It was just meant to be at her time, and she wants you to be okay with it, and know that she's there. She always will be, and she'll see you again. And you do feel her. She's giving me that you feel her. You feel her on the bed. You feel her around in your bedroom, also in other parts of your house. Treats. Did you have like a special cookie jar or a special dog treat jar or something? She's showing me you gave her treats. She loved the treats. Cute.
I did every morning.
Okay, because she loves the treats. She wants you to know that she loves the treats, and it seems like there's a special jar or a special. She just shows me like a special ritual, and how much she loved it and would look forward to it, and that it's all about the treats. Love the treats, love the the goodies. You spoiled her. So much love, love for you, and also that she was so loved, that you always showed her that, always made her feel home. Very, very special, wonderful relationship. You're very good with the animals in general. You have a very, even a healing with them. You have some healing abilities. You work with animals. I think even without realizing it, it's something that you've done and have done even in the past. You have a very good relationship with them, and she was a very, very special one for you. But you have a very good connection with animals in general, and especially dogs, cats, birds too come up. I don't know if you've had birds or if you're going to get a bird, but birds come up for you too.
I have a lot of birds that come and visit me in my yard.
Okay,
I had a woodpecker today.
Woodpecker? Yes. Okay,
yeah, I don't kill any animals. They're all welcome over here.
Good, yes. And they know that with you. They feel that with you. And so they do come around. They come around often. And you do. Birds are one that bring you signs. And woodpecker, too, is a good one. And I feel that's an animal for you. That is a totem for you. A woodpecker is very one to watch for messages. They bring messages from spirit too. And that could even be something that will come and bring you messages from, I'm getting almost like a grandmother in the past, some that are in spirit now that will send you messages. So watch for that. And in fact, look for a feather. Where you see them, kind of watch, go out and watch for a feather, because I think it'll be some time, but you will end up getting gifted a feather. So watch for that, definitely. And they are a sign. So, and I do feel that's a good, strong one for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any questions, or you want me to keep going, or do you have any?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
Okay.
My friend Selena's here. Do anything for her? I don't know. Yikes.
Put her on.
I'm here.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, definitely. And anytime, and thank you for calling.
Poor Lala.
Yeah, Lala is so special.
Selena.
Very beautiful. Thank you for letting me connect with her, too. She's amazing, and so are you. So thank you so much. She loves you. Yeah.
Okay. Play around.
My Lord.
Right. It's like, you have to hear this. It's so weird, because when you walk in the house, Lala used to be like that. Like, all the little trinkets, like, just run your fingernails across the, board, and that's, how you feel. It's like, you're missing the little stilettos across the hardwood floor.
Yeah. Yep. Her tiny little feet, and, that little noise.
It was like stilettos across but super quick, like you were fast dancing things.
Yeah. So sweet. Yeah, she was very feminine too. She
called her Mirabelle for a reason. Joan Rivers too. We called her Joan Rivers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it seems, she's giving me you dress her up or kind of play or just kind of put little ribbons in her hair and just fix her all up, and she liked to be pretty. She's very pretty, and she's so fun.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah.
That was fun. She was like having a baby doll.
Yeah, she loves that. Yeah, yes, definitely. Because she's showing me like a doll, dressing her up and just putting little ribbons in her hair, almost like a little like a little baby carriage or something, and just playing with her, and she loves that so much, and that was just so sweet and very, very important to her, very loving. But also so much, so very, very cute. Very feminine, though. Very beautiful. Just
my sister would go to Build-A-Bear and buy her clothes.
Okay, because I keep seeing her in clothes, and I thought maybe it was just me. But I can picture the whole outfit.
She had a whole wardrobe.
Okay, because she's showing me these cute little outfits with little ribbons in her hair and these little dresses, and these little outfits, and I thought, well,
that's animal abuse, fine. That's animal abuse.
Oh no, she really was a diva. No, she really was a diva.
You turned. She was not born a diva. You turned her into a diva.
This is true. I can attest to the evolve of the diva.
Yeah.
But she's still that way. She loves it because she keeps showing me these little outfits, these cute little dresses and ribbons, and no, it's very much, she was born to be a diva. Put it that way. You just coaxed her along, but she loved it. She played into it. She just had a great time. It made her feel good. And that also makes me feel good to know why I kept seeing her and all this. It's so cute.
She probably had a closet worth more wardrobe than you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had many outfits.
Like your little Barbie dog,
She was, though, and anywhere that you would take her, that dog was everywhere. She went to church. She had piano lessons. She went to the movie theater. She went everywhere. Nobody ever denied her entry anywhere.
No, yeah, she seems like a kid, just like a person. So cute. Very, very loving. And she just loved it. Just ate it right up, dude. Everybody loved her too, She's just very special and had this glow to her. Beautiful, beautiful glow, and gold and pink and blue. Just beautiful, beautiful colors. So much energy. Wonderful, loving heart. Very, very beautiful. She was very healing to you when you were.
Oh, everybody misses her.
Yeah.
Everybody misses her. It's like everybody's been devastated. I had over 50-something messages on Facebook, phone calls, cards in the mail, people calling me wanting to know how I'm holding up. I've never had anything like that. It was astounding, actually.
Oh yeah. People were drawn to her. She just had an amazing soul and heart, but also this healing energy. She just, it comes off of her, just glows. She's just so good. She would have been perfect.
Like, Dion's one of these stage mother dog owners, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She would have been perfect for nursing homes and hospitals and hospice and stuff. You know what I mean? Like a healing dog. How some are really extremely, and horses and many animals, but especially dogs.
Jan was a dance mom dog owner.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Come on, Chris, that is hilarious. You totally nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and sorry, what's your friend's name again?
I'm Selena.
Selena, that's Auntie Selena, right? Auntie Selena, right?
It is kind of Auntie Selena, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Selena.
So let's go on. What can we do for Auntie Selena?
Yeah, Selena.
I don't know. We were talking about animals. I was feeling Lamborghini. That's really weird.
Oh yeah, your cow.
So, my fiance raises show cattle, which is kind of advanced forms of cows. And we recently lost what we referred to as a cash cow. She was not necessarily old for cattle specifically, but she was very lucrative, financially speaking, and in so many more ways that we couldn't have even imagined. And she started having issues, and about 10 days after she started having issues, she essentially passed away. We took her ear. We're going to clone her. She'll never be the same, obviously. But it's been an interesting sort of ordeal for me. I've never, the cloning aspect of sort of taking someone and recreating that, I believe that everything has a spirit. So it's kind of interesting when you come to a cloning issue. And as much as that's great as far as financials are concerned, she was really a sort of a priceless commodity.
I hear, though, that clones kind of don't do all that well, or have they fixed that problem?
Well, I'm not really. In the cattle industry, it's very different. We have not only her DNA, but we also have. Sounds crazy, but we extracted her ovaries and we extracted her ear, and we have a few more pieces of her. And the amount of DNA that we have would outweigh the normalcy of what they would use to clone. So I don't believe in cow in dogs and cats and sort of domesticated animals. We figured it out.
But cash cows. No, but I mean didn't they do the goat in the first place? Wasn't a sheep or a goat or something in the first place?
You are correct. It was a sheep. But sheep are very different than cattle in the sense that they maternalize differently. They don't have the same genetic makeup. Believe it or not, cattle are more like humans than most people are cognitively aware of. If we clone her, the intention is that she won't be identical. It's not going to be, her name is Lamborghini. She's never going to be Lamborghini again. But the idea is that her DNA is so profound that she could continue to reproduce the same types of calves that she was reproducing.
So let me ask a stupid question. So because we could take some ovaries and go get some stud bull sperm, and we can still test tube. That's different from cloning, though, eh?
Well, the ovaries weren't taken specifically to clone her. The ovaries were taken so that we could extract the DNA from the embryos that she had sitting inside of her.
But but my point simply is wouldn't there have been a way for you to have her reproduce, but not reproduce her? If you know what I mean.
We, in fact, my fiance does absolutely 100% reproduce her over and over again. That's why we call her the cash cow. In the past 3 years, she has reproduced so many cattle that her cattle alone, the babies that she had were worth over $210,000 in the last 3 years. And that's
so you must be filthy stinking rich then.
Well, believe me when I tell you, cattle industry is just as much of a liability as it is a production. And I got to marry him.
Well, I'm just, all I was thinking was unless they've sorted out the whole thing, I don't know that we're doing an animal a favor to clone. You know what I mean? Because the clone doesn't do well, doesn't live as long, and is generally, I thought, had some health health issues. But you would know better than I would.
Well, yeah. I agree with that, and I think that that's the issue, is that we do still have complications and that we do still have sort of some scientific, a long time ago. They've been cloning cattle for so long before it was even considered well. And yes, they definitely are not going to live as long. The idea is to continue to be able to keep the strands of DNA at 100% or 90% level so that it seems as though she still exists, even though she physically does not. Physically speaking, if the clone doesn't come out looking like her or any of that nature, it wouldn't really be important. The importance is that the DNA lines and strands still match about 90%, so that whatever the new clone is reproducing is still reproducing close enough to the proximity of where Lamborghini was producing. And again, this is like a complete scientific phenomenon that, I mean, I've only been in this I've studied cloning and genetics for a long time, but not in the cattle industry. Again, the idea is not to clone her so that she's identical. It's more about cloning her to the perspective of being able to use her DNA to continue to reproduce her so that we can what's called flush her, take her eggs out, artificially inseminate, mix with eggs, and then bring back the DNA to continue to reproduce the same type of lineage and lineage sort of in that perspective so that we can keep her alive in that sense, if that makes sense.
So it's and I'm not judging anybody, you know what I mean? I just go like, what about the 4 cows, you know what I mean? And I'm just talking about, so when new baby calves are born, what are they used for? They're show cows, or are they just like made for their what are we breeding these cows for?
Our bred cattle are used either to continue to reproduce calves, to increase the amount of calves that we're having, and we sell them to, again, be used for reproduction. So basically a mommy factory. The other portion of the income is for what I said was show cattle, and it sounds a little what I would call shady, but it's kind of like being the dance mom of cows. You're going to pageantry these cows all over the creation.
Like the county fairs to get the blue ribbons or what?
Exactly. And they get the blue ribbon over and over again at the county, and then they go from the county to the region to the nation, and they get all these big pristines, and then their bloodline is important because they're so beautiful, and then people buy their eggs. And so what you do is you flush them. You have them reproduce and essentially suck their eggs out of them, and then they reproduce again, and you suck their eggs out of them, and they don't actually necessarily, they have one calf a year, just like a female would every 9 months. Yeah. But for the majority of it, we're extracting their eggs to be able to artificially inseminate their egg in combination with someone else's semen to have another potential cow that's not exactly a great lineage, but she's essentially a host, kind of like a surrogate.
Surrogate mother,
My fiance, 75% of my fiance's income is actually sale of show cattle. The other 25% in his cattle portion would be what we call feeder cattle. That's sounds horrible, but everyone eats beef, and it's they're raised. Those are then raised to be eaten. Yes. Now, our farm specifically does not hormone induce. We don't use antibiotics. We don't use crazy things. We're not going to call ourselves organic in any way, shape, or form. And I don't eat beef. That's not a personal choice. It's actually a chemical choice. But the type of beef that is raised on our farm specifically is very clean. It's fed well. It's cared for. We have 150 cattle head, and I go out and talk to them all the time. Every time they're eating in the morning, I talk to them. We don't treat them poorly. They're not.
You go, come on, baby, Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Do eat up well. Eat up well.
No, Mama. No, Mama goes out there and says, Mama, I know you're really hurting right now, and you've got 3 weeks to go, and you look like you're really swelling up. if I could just get you to eat a little bit of corn, Mama would be really happy for you, because I know you're uncomfortable and it's hotter than junk out here.
Because we need that baby, because that baby's worth $250K. Come on, baby. And I'm kidding
Pretty
you.
much.
I'm kidding you. I'm kidding
Pretty
you.
much.
I'm kidding you.
No, you're not. Don't kid, because I'm over there going, rubbing her ass, and she's shitting on my hand. You know, it's like, well, you know, if she's got to shit on my hand for me to buy a $50 pair of shoes, I'm good.
Oh, my God. I never foresaw this conversation.
Well, you meet all kinds of people.
I know. No, you do. And, again, I can't, you know, and I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, because I do enjoy a steak now and then, you know what I mean? And so I know that somebody's killing that cow somewhere along the way, and I don't know what kind of life that cow had, you know, before it got onto my plate. And so I know all that. I'm aware of that.
Believe me,
but,
if you're buying it at the grocery store, the steak that's on your plate that cow was not treated very properly at all. And I can almost guarantee you that, like I said, I mean, I would tell anybody to the heartbeat, if I told you what goes on from the low end of cattle to the high end of cattle, you know, if you're eating hamburgers at McDonald's, I guarantee you that calf it didn't even make it 14 months. It was skinty, It was nasty, and they just literally, bones and all, they ground it up and they treated it like garbage. But, you know, and I'll be honest with you, my children, my mother, who eats steak on, you know, probably once a week or whatever, we actually care for them so well that we have them butchered in a private facility, and those steaks are cut properly and it's clean. And when my mother first ate it for the first time, she said, "I'll never buy steak at the grocery store again, now that I know what happens and how it goes through it." And I mean, we joke about it, but after show cattle have been through 10 years of showing, they're your hamburger plates on your Burger King and your McDonald's menus. And that's but that's no more than the process of, there's, you know, you're eating hot dogs, which I would never consume, but if you eat a hot dog, you basically ground up like 15 different types of animals and tortured them. So, you know, I mean, my daughter would never consume a hot dog because she knows what goes into a hot dog. And my daughter, like, bathes her calf. She walks up to her and she washes her with shampoo and conditioner, and she blow dries her and she combs her and she talks to her. And by God, if she found out her calf was like being eaten at McDonald's, she'd be quite a pissed off little girl. So our animals, I mean, and I'm not saying that that's the case throughout the United States, but our animals are not that way. And my fiance didn't end up in the cattle industry because of by chance. He's just one of those lovey-touchy kind of guys. I mean, every animal, it's kind of like Dion, like every animal walks up to him and loves him. It's ridiculous. We have cats that come from nowhere. We have no idea where they can come from. But no judgment taken. So
anyway, before we got into this discussion, like, were you
I wondered if so what we found out happened after she passed away was something that I was very extremely surprised about, and I was I had no clue that this even happened to cattle and how aggressive it could be. But I wondered if Kimber had any sense in sort of where Lamborghini was in her last days, because I was with her literally the night before she passed away, trying to get her to a facility to find out what was going on with her, because until she actually passed away, we had no idea what was going on with her. And she had these beautiful big cow brown eyes staring at me like, help me, help me, help me. And I did all the things in the world that I possibly could have, magically speaking, quote unquote. And it felt like she just knew when she was looking at me, like, just say goodbye to me. And so yeah, I was just kind of wondering if Kimber had any take on that.
Yeah,
sure.
Go ahead, Kimber.
Sure. Yeah, I do get her. She knows that you did care deeply for her. You do take care of all your animals, you know, and all your cows. And I do understand what you're saying, and I know it's hard and difficult. She knows that you had a special place for her, that you cared a lot for her. You did what you could do. It was her time, though. She knew that she was going, and she's showing me some pain and inside, something inside, stomach, something internal issues is what I'm getting, and she was in pain. There was nothing you could do. She did say goodbye because she knew that she was going, so she was trying to tell you goodbye, and I do feel that you knew that too. She does as well. She wanted to because she does acknowledge that you were very special to her. You did treat her well. You did have feelings for her. She knows that, because not everyone does so much so that, especially to cows in that situation. And there was something very special about her, or something that you guys had this relationship. So she does want to acknowledge that, and that she knows that you tried, that she's showing me, like I said, internal issues. But it was her time to pass, and she was okay with that. And in fact, she was ready to go. She wanted to go because she knew it was her time. They do.
But she was tired of having her eggs sucked out of her. I'm kidding.
She was tired. I get tired. She was tired. She just...
Believe it or not, she had stomach cancer, not ovarian cancer.
Okay,
so
good.
you're very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, because, I get the stomach and the pain. She was in a lot of pain.
She was.
Yeah. And so that's another reason why she wanted to just go, because she knew that there wasn't really nothing you could do, and the pain was immense. And stomach issues, a lot of stomach. She's showing me the stomach. And that, it was unbearable pain. But that she knows you did try, you did what you could. And, she has a very sweet soul, amazing spirit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of feelings. And, she was, and as you said, big brown eyes, beautiful, beautiful eyes, very beautiful in general, very just amazing features, and just very well built, muscular, just, very beautiful.
And she didn't want us to flush her anymore.
What?
I said she was gorgeous, exactly. She had beautiful brown eyes and these big long eyelashes, and she was built like she was supposed to be, and she didn't want us to flush her anymore. No kidding. We flushed her because she was perfect.
Because, she is very, very beautiful, and just an amazing, sweet soul, too. Very kind spirit. Definitely she is okay with where she's at. She understands that, she was here. She says there was part of her that wanted to, she feels like she wanted to hold on almost more for you. Is she, but she just couldn't. She was tired, and it was just her time, and it was just too much internal issues. And she just knows, she's saying she feels she couldn't be fixed. But that you tried to fix her, but she couldn't be fixed, is what she's telling me. Something I get too, and I got, when you were first talking about it too, and immediately I got, only Creator can create. She will not be the same in this, what you guys are doing, and, she understands that. She's okay. She knows that, that you want her again, but she also wants you to know that it won't be her. It'll be something that looks like her. It'll be another soul, another spirit, another, different, but not her, because she says she's me. she's her. She's individual. We all have a soul. We all, whether we're animal, human, everything has a soul. Everything has, it's here for its purpose. It has its spirit. It's, and her feelings, and she is who she is, her heart. That's what makes her her. And so she says you'll like what you get, but it won't be her. But
no, I healing. I know. I even made a comment about. Hey, I even made a comment about Lamborghini's daughter. Her name is Murcielago. Go figure. And we like expensive cars. And she's doing very well. And I said that we needed to change it up again. And my fiance said, well, what's the next car we're going to name her after? And I said, well, she's got to be a Porsche.
Yeah.
No, Chevy. It lives forever.
And wait, that's funny that you said that. I said, she's got to be a Porsche. You still have to follow the lines. He goes, I think we need to go American-made on this one and be on percentage. She needs to be a Chevy. She lasts forever. Yeah. So I told her, I said, well, maybe we need to name her Camaro. And I'm like, so Lamborghini's going to have to send me a new name because Mom's going to be in charge of naming her. And I know it's not going to be the same, but I'm not trying to keep Lamborghini in, just trying to keep her legacy alive. That makes sense.
Yes. And, yeah, the one that what you will get, she is her, who she is, but will be similar, but not the same. Be different and still be what you want and what you need, but just so you know that they're all individual and but she will be very beautiful and what you end up getting, you're going to be happy with, and I know you want to continue to create more and and to keep on with what you had. So I understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. She just says that, she is who she is and that each one is individual, and I agree with that too. But that the spirit and the soul moves on. She's in a different form, but that she's still around. Her spirit just is in a different journey, So she is okay with what you're doing, says that go ahead and do that, to also feel comfortable with what you did. You tried everything. You gave her a good home. She's happy. She was happy with her life. But she needed to move on. She was happy with time to move on. So, and she was okay. It was kind of a painful situation, but she no longer, once you're gone, you don't feel pain. You're happy. It's nothing. It's all good. So
let me ask a question. Was her cancer genetic or was her cancer environmental?
Funny you asked that. Her cancer was environmental.
Okay.
Cancer was environmental. Not genetic speaking, and thank goodness, because we had it tested, obviously, since we kept all of her stuff. It was not genetic. It was definitely environmental. And I didn't know this until that actually occurred, but when cattle, they reproduce at the same stage humans do, 9 months, it's the same gestation period, all that type of stuff. However, believe it or not, when cattle get cancer, their cancer spreads and attacks the body 10 times faster than a human. So we noticed that something was wrong with her. She stopped eating and stopped drinking at about the second day mark. She was walking kind of funny. She was sort of crippled out. Mind you, she's a queen bee of all of our cattle. She weighed, Dion asked how much she weighed. She weighed 1,500 pounds.
Okay.
And she, from the day we noticed something was wrong with her to the day she passed away was literally 10 days.
Wow.
So if you think about that in a human sense, that would probably have been like the 90-day mark when they say you have 3 months to live. Yeah, she was gone in 10 days. And we actually had to have all of our cattle tested to ensure that it was not environmentally unsafe to them as well. And you did confirm, Kimber, thank you very much, that not only did she have a connection with me, very interesting because she was the mama, and mamas, the moms of the cattle, they don't necessarily like females, to be honest with you. They're very shy when it comes to females. They're very aggressive when it comes to females. They can sense your hormones. But Lamborghini and I, she, out of all the cattle we have, she never gave me a hard time. Anything I told her to do, she would do it. She was totally cool with me. My fiance bought her for $1,100 about 7 or 8 years ago. And when I tell you the kind of money that he made off of her is ridiculous, and that's why we call her the cash cow. She was very much a blessing to him, but he really, really, really took it hard when she passed away. I mean, I thought he was going to lose his marbles. I mean, honestly, when you said something about she knew that we did everything possible to keep her, he spent $2,900 having her tested and shipped and swarm in a tank and all kinds of stuff, on top of spending another $3,600 to have her ovaries extracted and her DNA extracted. And I hope that she knows that he genuinely had a true love for her. He doesn't get very attached to our cattle. He says livestock or dead stock. It's just kind of how the industry goes. But he did have a special attachment to her, and he was really crippled emotionally for quite a few weeks when that occurred. And for you to say that she's okay with him cloning her, I was curious about that. Believe me when I tell you I don't believe in human cloning. I believe we all have a spirit, and I believe the same thing about animals.
Okay, wait a second there. See? You just said you believe that animals have spirits, yes?
Yes, I do. I know she has one.
So for the reason you cite that you're opposed to cloning humans, you know what I mean?
It was the same reason that I was opposed to clone. I would have never thought about cloning an animal in my entire life. Right. I can't dispute that I don't understand why he wants to do such, but the fact that Kimber sort of said that Lamborghini was blessing it in a sense, I mean, it's sort of a fine line. I don't believe in the cloning of humans or animals, but the problem with that is that artificial insemination is almost a fabrication of cloning anyway. And believe it or not, when I tell you, most of the vegetation you're eating today is a clone. It's not true vegetation. I mean, we take a plant and we separate it and we replant it, and that's a clone. It's not necessarily, and when I tell you
plants are a little bit plants are a little bit different, right? I mean, it's splitting it in two, really. Like when you take a snip and you grow it, you're not really cloning it because it's already it. You know what I mean? When I take a snip off of I'm not creating a whole new one out of some.
Well, but artificial
DNA.
insemination.
No, but with artificial insemination, you're using an entirely different sperm, an entirely different egg, and you're doing just like they do with people, right? So therefore, we're not creating an identical. Cloning is really like manufacturing an identical.
Yes. But believe believe me when I tell you, in artificial insemination, I can take the egg out of a, per se, Lamborghini, and I can take the semen out of the same exact steer or bull that she was inseminated by, and I can reproduce her children three times over.
Well, wait, though. But when you were cloning, it's an exact DNA match. It's a DNA thing. That's what cloning is. When you're doing,
I agree.
like you could take the same mother and the same father human and the same mother and the same father cow and let them have sex in the normal way, and it's still the father's sperm and the mother's egg, same father, same mother, but it's still going to create an entirely unique individual animal / human with its own DNA that's unique. And so therefore that's why I see it as different. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree it's different. But again, there was that fine line for me about, you know,
no, and I'm not trying to pick a fight with you or criticize you. You know what I mean? I could see why you want to marry. I could see why you want to marry the guy, though.
Yeah, believe me, it's lucrative on my end. He's stubborn. You can't tell him what to do. Deanna and I talked about it the other night. She said, what you got to do is you got to get some other cow wives together, and you got to have like the true housewives of Cattle County or something like that. And get like a TV show. I can't keep up with the critics. You want me to keep up with the rap?
The true housewives of of show cattle owners or something like that. You know what I mean?
You can produce that show whenever you want to. Let me know. But I appreciated the fact that Kimber said. I appreciated the fact that Kimber said that Lamborghini was okay with. It wasn't my choice. It was what my fiance had decided that he was intending to do. And so I was very grateful for hearing that Lamborghini was okay with what his intentions were, because again, in my spirit, I was a little unsettled about what that really meant and how that really was going to pan itself out to be. And honestly, the money is not. Yeah, it's great to marry a guy that's got money. Okay, perfect, but that doesn't set well in my spirit. I don't care how much money it brings. So it was very nice.
Would sit well in my spirit. I'm not all that spiritual. But anyway, I'm teasing.
No, yeah, it's fine. It was great. It was great to hear that Lamborghini was okay with sort of what his intentions were, because I think he's been lulling over that. I mean, he's a very God-driven man, and there are times where he wonders about his decisions, and he gets very, very sort of discombobulated, I'll call it, and he kind of holds off on those. And so to hear that she was okay with it, because believe me, if I told you I put an egg over her and cracked it and checked her and was sitting next to her and rubbing all kinds of stuff all over her, and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" But it was nice to know that she knew that I was there and doing everything that she knew that I could do, and more really that she knew that we as a team were sort of rooting for her to do whatever it is. And honestly, when I left, they were moving her to a facility to check on her. I told her, I said, if this is the last time that I see you, just so you know, I love you to pieces, and you got to do what you got to do, but just don't let him see you. Just don't let him see you. And believe me, he was driving up there on Tuesday morning, and on Monday afternoon we got the call. And I literally was like hands up in the air, like, thank you, Lamborghini, and God and all of my universe for not letting that man see that let her pass away, because I don't think he would have been able to handle it. So thank you very much for sort of settling me in that in that way. Yeah. And just that she was able to sort of go on her own and that it was okay.
Yeah, definitely. And, as you were speaking, and I had wrote things down, because sometimes I'll take little notes, as I feel them and before I get a chance to say. And I did, before you even said it, he loved her. I wrote that down. He loved her. And so when you said that, yes, he definitely, and she knew that. But I also felt that. I picked that up right away, and I did write that down. And that is something she knows. He loved her, and he did not want to let her go. And he wanted, that's another reason why he wants to recreate her, because he loved her so much. And he's thinking that that's his way of kind of, continuing her on. And so that's why, another reason why she understands that, and she's okay, because she knows that is his purpose, because he loved her so much, not just for the money because she made him the money, but he also had a special connection, as you did. Yours was really special, but he had a connection with her, and he did love her. Because I did pick that up from her, and also from him, and just it's something I wrote down before you even said that. And also that she did know, and she knew that you tried to help her. She says you tried everything to help her. You showed her a lot of love and a lot of caring, and that you let her go. You gave her, because before you had said that too, I seen that, I felt that, is that you had the conversation with her, and you gave her the permission. You kind of let her go, because she was trying to hang in there, but you let her go. You that helped her to do that, because she needed to. So she also thanks you for that, because that gave her that nudge to just go ahead, because she was in a lot of pain. I get a lot of internal pain with her. It was really hard, especially towards the end, and that's why especially 7 to 10 were really bad, and she did try really hard to hang in there, but that she did show me that you did let her go. She gives me let her go, and you released her from that and from her pain, and that there was nothing that, even if you guys would have continued to put more and more, because she knows. And also, I get that, too, that you did spend a lot of not only time but money and expense, and he did, too, and he was really torn as to what he wanted to continue. But no matter, even if you would have, she still would have passed. And so it was good that you kind of gave her that, to just go ahead and quit suffering, and to just do it. Because sometimes they need that, too, that, that okay. And so that helped her. You guys did have a very strong connection. She meant a lot to you, and you meant a lot to her. And as you said, she didn't connect with everyone, but there was a bond. Him as well, but yours was very strong. She just connected with you very much. For the new one that I do, how you said Camaro, Chevy, or Corvette, excuse me. Is that what you said, Corvette? Because I think
I
you
said
might have said
Camaro, but that's
because
funny that you just said Corvette.
Because I get...
He said, you get Corvette?
Yes, I get Corvette, Cora for short.
That's so crazy, because we rented a Corvette, and he said if he ever would buy a fast sports car, because he's so not a sports car guy, he would want a freaking Corvette.
Yeah, because I get Corvette, Cora.
I love it. I'm taking it. It's for short. Corvette, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Cora.
I did let her go. I did let her go because I knew that he wouldn't. He's not like, he doesn't... I really believe in the cycle of life. Unfortunately, he's not capable of that. He's a man. They hang on everything. So I did let her go. I told her, I said, don't let him keep you here. I literally what I told her, don't let him keep you here. You need to go when it's your time to go, and Mama will be okay with it. And, oh, gosh, she hated females. Oh, my God, did she hate females.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. It was the first thing he ever told me. I said, I can't even believe she's letting you touch her. She hates females. And I looked at him like, you forgot who you were talking to. But I didn't say anything. It was fine. But she's, Corvette. I got it. Corvette. My little white Corvette. Or my red Corvette. Whatever Prince said. Prince said a red Corvette. She's going to be like a little red. Well, she can't be red because she was black, so she'll have to be a black Corvette. But that's fine. I'll take Corvette. I'll go with that.
Yeah, because that's what I get, Corvette, Cora for short.
Cora.
So that's,
Cora for short.
Yeah. So,
or
and I
Corey if it's a boy, because it could be a boy.
It can't be a boy. Can't be a boy.
It's the girl.
Oh, right, you're cloning. That's right.
Cloning a girl.
Because I get Cora. It's a girl.
And that's ironic because
that's a boy.
I have a great aunt Cora who was a rock star. That woman lived to 101.
Oh yeah! Wow. See, yay. Well,
yeah.
Poor thing. I'm just kidding.
That could be...
No, not poor thing. She was still baking cakes at 97.
Wow.
Not a joke. That woman, you wouldn't even know she was 101. She was baking cakes at 97. Craziness.
Yep. Well, that's good. And see, so that'll be a perfect for her, a good name. And I think that you said a great aunt or an aunt, but she's older.
She was my great aunt. She was my father's aunt.
Yeah. Grandmother's sister. Your grandmother's sister or your grandfather's sister?
My grandfather's sister. My grandfather's sister.
Because I get her coming around for you as well. Apron, wearing an apron. Do you have jewelry from her or a piece of jewelry or something?
I do. My only strand of pearls.
Okay, because she's showing me jewelry. She wanted me to give you jewelry so that you would know that it's her.
Yeah, my little pull-off.
Okay, yeah. Because, she comes around for you as well. And yeah, she's very, very sweet. Did like to bake. So you guys did together, or she liked to teach you to bake or baked with you. Very good cook. But yeah, jewelry. She gives me jewelry that she definitely, and that means a lot to her that you have that, and a way to kind of connect with her energy, because everything carries energy, and that has her energy. So you were special to her, very special. One of her favorites. She's saying,
really?
Yeah, she says you were one of her favorites. You were very sweet. Kind of
Aww.
quiet. Yeah.
I was quiet? Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
No, she didn't say quiet. She did not say quiet. She said sweet.
Yeah, very sweet.
No.
I did not say quiet.
I did not say quiet. I was very sweet to her. She was she was definitely cool. She was old school. She was old country. She taught me all about, I'm all about, about your culture and your ethnicity and your, longevity and your legacy. And I would pry her brain every time I got around her. And, of course, the first thing that she would tell me is, I made you something. And it's like, really? Are you trying to make me fat? Because that woman, the only Polish food I know how to cook, I learned from that woman. Okay,
yeah, because she gave me teaching and cooking, and that you cooked with her. Okay, and also, teaching other things as well as the cooking. So, yeah, you did learn.
And believe me, I didn't spend a lot of time with her, but the only time I spent with her was eating and cooking.
Yeah.
And church. And church. She was insistent on going to church. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, very spiritual.
Yes. Well, and her son, her son, which was my great uncle, her brother, my great uncle, who's still alive and kicking, but I don't know how long that's going to happen for. He was like my angel on earth. I mean, everything my father ever wanted out of anything, that man was always there. He put me through 2 years of college. I have 9 cousins on that side of the family, first cousins, and probably God knows how many second cousins. He put me through 2 years of college, set up a trust fund for my daughter, never even met her. Yeah. Still hasn't met her to this day. He's seen her once. She was like a preemie. He hasn't really he's seen her once, and she's almost 13, because he was so sick for such a long time. Lived past my father. My father never had any sons, and he's been taking care of me for as long as I can ever remember. I mean, I get a Christmas check, and my daughter gets a Christmas check, and I get a birthday check, and my daughter gets a Christmas and a birthday check, and I haven't seen the man in 5 years because he won't let us go see him. He refuses to allow us to go see him. And that was his sister. Yeah. So, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, very sweet. And, I think he also is going to end up leaving something. And, when he goes, he just seems to really want to set you up financially a little bit there. You and your daughter. It just shows me some kind of financial. I just thought I'd just let you know.
He has no children. He has no children. None. My father was his favorite nephew, and my father's been gone for almost 5 years. This year it'll be 5 years. And my father has no sons, and my father could care less about his other daughter. So I honestly would not be at all surprised. My mom even said it, and my mom's been divorced from my dad since I was 4 years, 30-some plus. My mom always said it. She's like, when your Uncle Eugene passes away, believe me when I tell you, when your Uncle Eugene passes away, there is a bank account that you won't even be able to understand. That man was local.
Yeah, because I do get that, and she also says that too. He's going to, and he cares about you and your future, and he wants to leave it, as you said too. I do get that he doesn't have anyone really close or many close to him, and he wants to give it to you and to her, and so eventually there is going to be some financial arrangement there, just so that will happen. And it's because he cares, but he doesn't show a lot. He's kind of he's not verbal. He's more quiet, and so he shows it more in those ways, in the checks and the money and in the, stability support, I guess, is more of his way of showing affection, if that makes sense. I don't know, more than coming out and saying it, but he does feel it. He's just not real big on saying, So, but yeah, I do get that, and I do feel that, and she really enjoyed spending time with you, and she does come around you and says that if you do want her to, she does as she needs to and wants to, but also at any time you can call upon her. And that, she did try to teach you a lot. She enjoyed, and she did like to feed you. She was one of those, are you hungry? Are you hungry? And, so definitely. There's the crickets. Sorry. But
we're near the end.
Sure.
We're near the end of the show.
Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate you.
Yes,
thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Many blessings your way. Many blessings your way.
Oh, you too.
Yeah.
You too.
You too. Many
And,
blessings. What's up?
just press 1 on your phone to mute yourself right now because I'm busy doing something else. Mute your own damn self. Mute your own damn self. And I'm just double checking. I'm just trying to see if Dorothy is on tonight or not on tonight. I'm still going to give you guys the option if you want to hang for overtime here. Happy to do that. And let's see here. Oh my God, the next door neighbors are making all kinds of crazy drilling noise. Like, who's gonna drill into the wall at 10 o'clock at night? Crazy. Yeah, it looks like Dorothy's on. So give me one more second. With this. And just to double check. And yeah, looks like she's there. Ready to go.
Hey. I love Dorothy. She's great.
We're happy to stay here. Let me just get an idea from everybody. So first of all, thank you, Kimber. You guys can find Kimber at Facebook, Kimber-lee Psychic Medium 1. That's that. She's also here basically every other Saturday. Now, should we have a show of hands, or would you guys want to stay? Should I stay or should I go now? So I'm happy to stay here and do our overtime thing. And stay if others are. Okay. Okay, so Judy's going to stay. Deb's going to stay. Everybody show. Oh, Marie, we have to stay. Because Marie, are you coming on the camera, Marie? Yes or no? Are you there, Marie? Marie said that she was going to come on the camera. Marie. And Beth will stay. Okay, we're staying then. As long as anyone stays, I'm happy to stay. I'm not trying to keep it a secret or anything. Anybody that wants to go to Dorothy's or whatever, feel free to go to Dorothy's. You can also hear her show in archives as well, you know. Okay, excellent. Marie's going to go find some headset, and so that's good. Well, why don't I do a quick song, give everybody a chance to have a pee break, or I can go get a coffee, and give Kimber at least a little break too. And does that work for you, Kimber?
Yeah, sure. And thank
All
you.
right. Betcha. And so we'll go with Blues Brothers, and we'll be right back.
1,
Okay.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're so glad to see so many of you lovely people here tonight. We would especially like to welcome all the representatives of Illinois law enforcement community who have chosen to join us here in the Palace Hotel Ballroom at this time. We certainly hope you all enjoy the show. And remember, people, that no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, there's still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. Everybody. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody to love. Someone to love. Someone to love. Sweetheart to miss. Sweetheart to miss. Sugar to kiss. Sugar to kiss. I need you, you, you. I need you, you, you. I need you, you, you. In the morning. You, you, you. From my soul's on fire. Sometimes I feel a little sad. Well, baby, speak me. There's nothing but things behind it to you.
All right. So thank you to archive listeners. We'll be departing now. From you, we'll see you back here tomorrow with, I don't know what. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we won't. For sure, we're here Monday. And so thank you, archive listeners, for listening.